Mr. Collions Manna. Collins, how you doing, my friend?
Hello, Red. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really doing great. It's sunny out here. Weather is so beautiful, and we don't know if this is the last sun we'll get, but we just have to enjoy.
It's a bit like that for the UK, isn't it, as far as weather is concerned? Now, Collins has got another engagement that he needs to get to very, very shortly. He's a committed man, and he doesn't like saying no. So he double booked himself for today. So we need to get a bit of a move on. So without further ado, let's hand it over to Collins. Now, Collins, obviously, you are a big face in OnPassive, and we know you. But we actually don't know you really, do we? We just see this really cool guy who looks a little bit like will.i.am on the screen in front of us. But we actually don't know who you are. So tell us a little bit about your background, where you come from, any family member, kids, etc., and what you've been doing for work.
Oh, thank you, Red. Really, thank you for, really appreciate this. I've never ever talked about myself. And this is the first time I need to introduce myself, The truth is, I'm from Cameroon. I'm from Cameroon origin. That's where I originated. Mom is still in Cameroon. My siblings, they are all scattered all over the planet. Most of them, they are in United States, in California. So I'm here with my elder brother. My older brother is in Manchester, and I'm here. He's also in OnPassive, but it's just the quiet one. So, and, looking at my life back, so I started my journey from Cameroon, studied in Cameroon, had my O level, which is GCSE, A level, again in Cameroon, and then from there I moved to, study in Holland, where I did my degree, bachelor degree in Holland, in a small town called Breda. A lot of people don't know, but the Dutch people know Breda is like a border town between Germany and Belgium. So it's 15 minutes to Belgium, and it's about 30 minutes to The Hague, which they call it Den Haag. So I studied there, and after my studies, I have to relocate into UK, got my job. And then when I moved into UK, it wasn't really rosy because it was all different, cultural difference and everything. The lifestyle in Holland is different from,
absolutely
what we have in UK. But you have to adapt, because that's one of the things, and I always thank God from the way I was brought up as a child, where you need to, you always have to. My granddad, I grew with my granddad a lot, and he always tell us, anywhere you go, you just have to integrate, know the people, because the people and the culture is your greatest asset. So never you ever try to integrate with the people of the same culture, because you will never know where you are. Because my granddad is someone who traveled a lot, and my aunt, they are also people who have traveled a lot. They were diplomats, have higher position in Cameroon. So the only way they can bring us up is about educating us how to integrate. And integration has been my biggest asset. So the first time I moved into UK, it was about how to integrate in the society, to know the British culture, the lifestyle, the way the people think and everything. And same like Holland, the biggest asset was to integrate, know their culture, know their language, and everything, because it gives you bigger opportunity, greater opportunity. When you understand the people, you have more opportunities, and that has been a greater asset. And I always thank to my family that they teach us all these morals and everything, integrity and stuff. All right, I came in, and my lifestyle, all right, I've been what? I was like 100% science student, nothing about IT, and when I moved into UK, the next thing was, do I need to go and study medicine again after my degree, or do I need to go into this? Because you need to integrate. You are coming from one country to the other. But as someone who is a father and you have children, you need to start to think, do you put your children first, or do you put your education second? But at one point, I was a little bit frustrated that I'm not really getting to where I want to be. So a friend of mine, when I move in, right, this is the first time I'll tell you, I work in microbiology, NHS, for 4 years, laboratory, NHS. And after my degree, I applied, I said, all right, I want to do nursing, maybe study pharmacy, had admissions and all of those things. And I'm looking at my daughter, I said, my God, if I do this, it means I will still owe school fees, because at that time, I'm still paying my fees in Holland, not even finished loan and all of that. So how do I cope with this? So a friend of mine told me, Collins, you know what? You need to move into IT. Do you have a degree? I said, yes. He said, you know what? IT doesn't, you don't need to go to any university. You can do it. You can take professional training. So I embarked now on professional training in IT. Whilst I was working in NHS, I was still training in IT.
And so, how long ago was this then, Collins?
Sorry?
How long ago was this?
Oh, this was 2005.
Wow.
Yes. So I started working because I wasn't really, it wasn't really me. And one of the things I hate is repetitive job. I already know what I have to do. I know what I need to do. So I said, no, I don't like repetitive job. I want something that will challenge me, where every time when I go, I'm seeing new things and I'm always excited. I don't care about the challenges, but when I sleep, I want to sleep over it. So there was this guy who went and tried and said, Collins, there are a lot of IT professionals. I don't know if you will love it. So this guy gave me a lot of books. Right, I came, I read it. It wasn't for me. I threw it away. I said, this is really 100% different from what I did. So I said, all right, what do I need to do? Because even after my degree, this is the first time I'll tell you, I had a degree in marketing. A lot of people don't know. As a science person from Cameroon, the language barrier, I had, my university was in marketing and tourism. So I had a degree in marketing and tourism in Holland, one of the best universities in Holland and Europe. But then I wasn't fulfilled because they offered me masters and they offered me a lot. But it was just like, this is not for me. Because the day I was graduating, I was crying. I said, it is really not for me. Language barrier have just put me somewhere. So a friend of mine told me at that time, all of them, they were all in IT. They said, why don't you just switch university? But I never wanted to abandon what I've already started, because when I started, I want to finish it. I said, my aunt always told us, no education is wasted. So when I move now, I say, you know what? I need to follow my line of trend. I'm 100% science, and I need to move to something that will give me that fulfillment, medicine or what. But it was long with children, with kids, and you know, family. You start to think about, do you really need to go back to school and then starve them, or do you need to look for work? But everything I do, I wasn't fulfilled, and that's why I said, you know what? I need to do something. And this guy, I always said, may God bless this guy. He introduced me. He said, Collins, there is IT there. You don't need to go to university. You are someone who can do something. And with the NHS, I would even say I work in bank. At that time, they call it Abbey National.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I work in credit card department, banking, mortgage, and all of that. Gather all those experience with me. Even show some of my friends. I said, I'm not a financial person, but you can get a job in all of this field. But this is not for me. Make some money just to support the family and disappeared. Make some money, disappeared. But got a lot of experience. But my heart was, I need to do something that will really give me that fulfillment. So when this guy introduced me, I dropped it. He said, Collins, you need to look into this thing. Then I embarked now on study of IT. So my first job I had, whilst I was still in NHS, I used to go and do part-time in a company called Computer Center. I do first-line support. So I started to work as first-line support analyst. After that, and I'll move and I do it. And then I had my first QA job. After my training and everything, I said, now I'm ready for the IT market. And I built all this experience and come in as a QA, junior QA engineer, QA engineer, and then move as a senior and a lead engineer in QA. And that's how I built that over the years, 14 years ago, to put me where I am. And sometimes I'm so grateful and thankful that when I always think about my life, and to be honest with you, this is where I said, all right, even though I didn't achieve the route of going into medicine and all of that, or pharmacy or stuff, but IT have given me that same fulfillment and even above, and what I can think for, you know. And I'm so grateful, Red, to really explain all of this here.
No, it's fantastic listening to everybody's story, not just your own, but anybody who's been in the chair. And it's amazing. They all start off with saying, I never talk about myself. and then you can't shut them up, really. But a bit like yourself, which is fantastic, by the way. Now, you mentioned about you when you were at university being a microbiologist. Now, funnily enough, when we had the glamping site over in Spain, we had two people who were microbiologists from the UK, and do you know, one of them was studying the smell of dew in the morning. You know, that smell in the morning, and she was collecting samples of what makes that smell in the morning of the morning dew, what makes the smell of the morning dew. And she was a microbiologist, and the other guy who was a microbiologist as well, he was next level. He was looking at cancer cells and all of that sort of stuff. So do you think that this will be something in the future that you're going to revisit on your journey of education? Is it something that you have turned your back on now, or do you think in the future it's something you're going to go back to and or at least revisit?
So, you know, Red, this is what I always think about, because, you know, within my laboratory experience working in the microbiology department for 4 years, my first job, I will tell you, was with a company that builds software for NHS.
No way.
My first IT job. And, you know, when they were like talking, I was like, wow, this is it. This is it. This is what I already know. So sometimes when we want to build, like we're building a software called, it was electronic document and record management system, because they want to get rid of all this paperwork and all those things. And sometimes you need to scan things. And there are times that I will scan like bacteria and stuff, what I already know, put it just to make sure we can see it properly, because that was what we were doing. And I said, it gives me that opportunity, though I left that environment, but I'm still close to the environment because I already know what they are looking for. And what the GP will know, what the nurses are looking for, whatever. So that idea was just there. And there are times that I even go to the hospital side just to see how they will use this software, the doctors, the nurses, and stuff like that. And the good thing is, when I always see a job from that area within the IT sector, I always feel like, yes, this is where I really want to be again, to come back again and revisit that site and how to see how to improve that sector in the IT.
And now you know both sides of the table. You know, from the person who's working in the laboratory of what they're looking for and what they need, the functionality to make their job easier. But now from your experience on the IT side, you think, I can do this to make their life easier, or vice versa. But you have full knowledge and you can talk in the language that they understand, because you've been there, haven't you? Fantastic. Yes. So this is something obviously that you're going to look at further on down the line, I expect, when you've got more time freedom, I suppose, that you'll be looking into it. So where are you now? Where are you at now as far as your IT career is concerned?
So now, you know, I'm just looking at more, because, you know, IT environment is changing really rapidly, because new technologies are coming up. And one of the things with the IT sector, if you don't keep up to date with the pace of the way development is taking place and the new technology, the new tools, you will be outdated regardless of your experience you had. So one of the things I always do is, sometimes I stay late up in the night just to study, because I go and I look at jobs. I say, oh, they're asking for this, and I've never heard about this. So what is that? So I go and make my research, and sometimes go to YouTube, learn it, just to keep myself up to date. And I believe many people are doing that. I think sometimes I'll call Vincent late in the night, 3 a.m. Vincent is up studying. You know, so it's just like you just want to keep yourself, because we know if you don't do this, you'll be outdated and nobody can hire you.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It certainly does. Now, I know that you've got a very tight schedule, and I really do want to get into asking you about your OnPassive journey, but I think we've got enough information here to be able to do a part 2. So with your permission, I would like to bring you back next week sometime, okay, and then we can do the OnPassive journey. But before you go, just tell us at the moment a little bit about. Don't tell me about your OnPassive journey, but just tell us a little bit about your experience in IT and when you first looked at OnPassive. What were your thoughts as far as from an IT perspective of what is trying to be done here?
Honestly, thank you, Red, for bringing this back. You know, when I joined OnPassive, introduced by a friend, this guy has no knowledge. It's just like, this is a business. You can make as much as you want. Someone introduced me, and I just want you to take a look. The guy is always someone who will show you something, but with no seriousness. So if you take it in a face value, you will never believe in it, because he tells you, laughed about it, and just disappeared. He said, I've shown you something. You go and take a look yourself. So when the guy showed me, he's living in US. I trade somewhere. I said, you know what? I will not take you serious. I've never done something online before. I know I did a little bit of trading, but it was on my own term, not like giving my money to someone to do it for me. I always like to do things myself. So I took it. I wasn't serious. It was really the peak of COVID. I said, all right, everybody is working from home. Let me just look at this. After 2 months, I took it, I look at it, make my own research. I went back to him. And I said, remember the website you gave me 2 months ago? He says, I forgot. What about it? Because I've given you a lot of website and you are not serious. I said, the GoFounder/OnPassive you gave me. He said, yeah, what about it? So I said, you know what? I've just taken notice. If this man called Mr. Ashmofara, that I've never joined any webinar, nothing, don't know what is happening. If they can do what they say they want to achieve here, it will be one of the biggest IT company mankind have ever seen.
Wow.
I said, because it is difficult to see someone put it like this together. And I took it to some of my friends, my colleagues. All of them were really, they told me it looks scary. He said, nobody have done this. These are things that only Microsoft have done it before with the Microsoft package. And you want to put a web application together like this, it will take years upon years to do this. And most of them refuse to join because they said they don't want to waste their time, because they don't want to wait for 10 years or 15 years. And I said, all right, what if it's 10 years and you feel like maybe you will not be, maybe you think like you will die before 10 years. What if you are still alive and they put this together? He said, all right, Collins, the only thing they told me is good luck. Just go away with it, good luck.
Fantastic. So I want to leave it there now, Collins, if I may. I know you've got to shoot off. I said I'd only keep you for 20 minutes, and we're on 20 minutes now. But please come back next week, because do you know something? We'll make it a good half an hour, and there is plenty more in your tank.